In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence on my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but it feels somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye.
And then in the other corner.
I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here. This should work. Right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy.
Now I have to go back to the fucking beginning again.
Once we each learn a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open.
My left hand goes elsewhere.
I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. Artwork!
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book.
And now the only question is this a left to right book or a right to left?
That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb, which flips to her side. After it flips to her side.
Which means it's left to right.
But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. And she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
You ruined the mood. I was actually kind of getting into it.
Are you ready?
Eh?
To turn the page.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays? Sorry. I think I got a little distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. So you're not actually reading it, you faking little bitch. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Oh, this is steamy.
It's like a nerd version of Catch.
Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main characters kind of remind me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Oh, that... like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I've only known you for 2 days and I'm making all these assumptions. I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But Paul, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! Gah! I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
So is this a poetry club? Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close up on top of my thumb.
Ow, my thumb!
Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you rather I only read with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. Worst! Ever! It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit more, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. I'll expect a book report tomorrow.
I'll give you a book report. That's what they're calling it nowadays. Alright.
Alright, whatever.
I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back in my bag because I don't have a piece of fucking paper to use as a bookmark.
Right. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
You're a poem virgin? Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! I forgot I was here!
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull each other... Sorry. Pull out their poems.
Their poems.
Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same thing myself.
Who do you want to show your poem to first?
I'll stick with Yuri for right now, then we'll move on to Monica. Yuri seems most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional.
Exceptional.
Eh? What was that?
Huh? Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's gonna hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, it's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Es mi día primero. Quack, quack, quack. Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
You fucking plagiarized this, didn't you? Didn't you? Liar! Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell.
It was the best of times, it was the blurst of times!
You stupid monkey! It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together, like Voltron.
Like, saw.
The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened.
That is true. Again, girl after my own heart. You're my waifu now. 100% waifu, 300% waifu. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem.
She is even a critic.
I read it so you don't have to. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if you're apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be the literature club?
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
That might actually be a Type Moon reference.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? What? I wasn't thinking that at all. What?
But it took you a long time to read.
It's because I can't read, woman! Ah!
I never learned to read!
I'm Zap Brannigan. How much reading do you think I do? Ah. Well, I just don't read script for you. See?
Also, it was in English for some reason. Oh,
Can't
Japanese? Do you write kanji in cursive?
I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Too pretty for this world. Yeah, that's a relief.
This is gonna go to some dark fucking places, isn't it? Also, I liked the poem. This is gonna go to some dark fucking places, isn't it? Even though it's short, it's really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Next one will be spicy. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
I am a ghost. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Paul. You dumb motherfucker.
You fuck. You dumb shit. Go fuck yourself. And die! You dumb bitch, really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all.
It's so over your head.
But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. The plebes. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. I wouldn't know. I downloaded this off fanfiction.net.
Who downloads a poem?
Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. Probably because you just pulled that out of your perfectly shaped arse. That's impressive. And I mean your perfectly shaped arse. The poem is only okay.
Yeah. It's nothing really.
Your perfectly shaped arse?
Yours was impressive too, so...
Well, I thank you for the compliment. I mean, like, mine isn't so perfectly heart-shaped like yours, but...
I'm the protagonist, so I don't even know what I look like.
Nah! If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. Your heart-shaped arse.
You think so?
Yes. Of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Paul.
I tried so hard, and I got so far. In the end, I actually impressed a boy!
And I liked it!
Ah. Me too.